So, come on in, take a sip, and let's wind down. Mein Name ist Christopher, und ich freue mich sehr, Sie hier zu haben. My name is Christopher, and I'm delighted that you are here. We have a Monday puzzle to get into, along with my libation for the evening. If we're being honest, the beginning of the libations for my evening. It's good to be transparent. We have a fantastic wind down word of the day. We are talking about the word opsimath. And this is someone who begins learning later in life. And I think it's a really cool word. I might have been on kind of a normal trajectory all the way through school and graduate school. But I can tell you right now, when I was an undergraduate student, we had a few of these people who were like ladies in their 40s. They drove Porsches, they had Rolexes, they had all these nice things. And they decided that that business degree that they had just wasn't going to cut it, that now that they had done whatever they were going to do, they were going to go back and get a degree in Shakespeare. And when we had class outings, they were always so very generous. So I always liked that. So to the opsimaths of the world, we should never, ever stop learning. But to those people out there, like that 90-year-old woman who decides to go back to get her degree, that's something you can really throw some props at. That's good stuff all the way around. Okay, so happy birthday today to Horus, born between 65 and 68 BCE. He was born in Venosa, Italy, and what a legacy to leave behind there. Also want to say happy birthday today to Mary Stuart, otherwise known as Queen of Scots. And she was born in 1542. Here she got a little grumpy on occasion, otherwise splendid personality. So happy birthday to Diego Rivera, pretty much known as Frida Kahlo's husband, but also a pretty prominent Mexican artist born in 1886 in Guanajuato. And to one cool cat, Sammy Davis Jr., probably one of the coolest people who ever lived. Sammy Davis Jr. was born in 1925 in New York City, and I'm here to tell you, if I could just have his wardrobe, I bet we wear the same size. I like it. And finally, to Jim Morrison, who was born in 1943. Happy birthday to the primary resident of the Morrison Hotel. And that's actually what they've come with the name of an album, clearly, but they've come to call his gravesite at Le Perches, the cemetery in Paris. We've actually made it through there a couple of times, but his grave is all, it's decked out. It's something else. Candles, graffiti, the whole 9 yards. It's definitely something he would have appreciated. I'm almost positive of that, right? So happy birthday to all of our celebrants today. And a little bit more celebrants courage, and we'll hop into this grid. We have a Dan, Kammann, and Cin-Cin, Burnikel construction here today. I'm sure I'm just butchering the names. Hopefully they'll tell me how to pronounce them later when I read the crossword column. Let's hop into our grid and see what we got. So a sir's counterpart could be a madam. I did have a funny story about sir and madam, but I'm going to leave that one alone today. Magic charms. Not together, could be apart. Blank is where a guy gets stabbed in the back and instead of dying he sings. That's opera. God, I love that quote. I love that quote. Guy gets stabbed in the back and instead of dying he sings, right? Yeah, that's good stuff. Magic charms could be mojos. Yes, there we go. Get it? Run out of clothes with a question mark. Well, that's a clever one. How about we're going to do the streak here? Gold in Spanish, oro. And interior design would be decor. Wyoming skiing mecca could probably very well, more than likely, almost positively be Jackson Hole if you wanted me to start betting here. We'll see about that. The eyes may have it. Opposed, no. Okay, the eyes have it. Motion passes. We'll go with mascara. Got it. Robert's Rules of Order, by God. That's good stuff right there. We got the Ursa Major. The Big Bear. And money across the Atlantic. Right here is the Euro. Or I think we anglicize that to euros, right? You know? But I imagine if you came to Germany and you didn't speak any German or French, Italy, Italian. I mean, it doesn't matter where you go. If you said euro, they'd understand you just fine. Bicycle shorts material could be lycra. We were just talking about that the other day. Psychedelic tab could be LSD. Lucy in the sky with diamonds. Diamonds. They're a girl's best friend. Gallery-filled Big Apple neighborhood could be no other than Soho. I could live in Soho. I know. Who couldn't, right? Toy on a string that's not a kite could be a yo-yo. Artificial colorant. A colorant could be a dye. Very nice. Starting point. I don't know what it is. Center of a stone fruit could be a cherry pit. All right. And so starting point could be an origin. Very nice. We put that all together. Author Fleming could be Ian. And hardest to find. We got that superlative there, don't we? So let's go with rarest. Rarest. And what empty stomachs do? Well, they could growl. Gesture suggesting, I see what you did there. Oh, how about a sly nod? And so a lost moisture. Maybe dried out. And let's see, end successfully. Finger or toe, or when red is two words, which you can do to the ends of 17, 62, and 10 and 34 down. Okay. Okay. And Iraqis and Iranians could be Asians. And half of a train track could be a rail. So, film special effects for short would be CGI. Computer image could be a scan. And messages on which you might be CC'd. Email. Yeah, I love it. You know, I have to go through my spam folder like every couple of days. I've always got so much in there that shouldn't be in there. Sometimes I find emails from all of you. That's no bueno, right? You know, like, oh, no, we got to get that out of there. And so if you've ever sent an email and I didn't reply, I could be I overlooked you in the spam folder, and I'm sorry for that. But please do write back. I do tend to respond very quickly. Golfer's target or prize could be a cup. Pause in the action could be a lull. And comedian Wong, how about alley? Let's go with alley. Covering over a wound could be a scab. BLT, got our crunchy sandwich here. So that sly nod, though, you know what that is, right? That sly nod, right? It's like, I'm on to you. I got that. That's good. And I'm not going to turn you in. You're going to make it worth my while. Yeah, that kind of thing, right? So, and successfully, I mean, or maybe work out. So I don't know. Highway could be a route or a route. Camp shelter could be a tent. You know, it's not going to be like, this is going to be like the major challenge here. It's not a major challenge in grid. But it is very cleverly constructed, and nothing that I have seen, we're almost halfway through it, has been anywhere near inelegant. It has been quite nice. So medieval stringed instruments could be lutes, and Speaking of emails and comments and stuff, I have some very interesting thing. Yesterday, I was kvetching about Ellen Burstyn. I guess I was talking about her having a Grammy and an Oscar, or having an Oscar, a Tony, and an Emmy. And that somebody on the Grammy committee needs to at least give her an honorary Grammy or a lifetime award Grammy type thing so she could have an EGOT. And then Queen Sue put in the comments yesterday that she's surprised it's not a GOTE because it would go with the GOAT, or the greatest of all times. It would be a homophone, right? You know, and I think that's exactly what we should do. I mean, we're Marvis. We don't say rebuses because we hate the word. We say rebuy. We kind of do what we want to do here. So I think instead of EGOTs anymore, I think they should be GOATs for the greatest of all times that they have to be in order to become a GOAT, to get the GOAT, whatever, you know, the EGOT GOAT. I'm going to work on it. Make it feels a little funny coming out of my mouth right now. So no longer available could be taken. Boy, that especially hurts in love, does it not? Why, actually, if you had just said something to me, but I've done gone and married Paul, and we are very happily in love. Yeah, that thing. Top poker cards could be aces. It's gonna cost you. Oh, that goes with my Sly Nod reference, right? You know, yeah, no, I'm cool. I'm on what you did, though. You can make it worth my while. It's gonna cost you. Yeah, that's it. So this could, I guess, be work out fine. Let's go with the out part and then see what we've got here. In lieu of course, let me clarify. And we've got 5 on the blank, so maybe I meant mosaic pieces could be tiles. And monarch at Versailles, le roi. And that's the truth. No lie. All right. And there aren't enough hours in the day. So religious ceremonies could be rites. And I guess this is eeny, meeny, miny, mo. I don't know how to spell eeny. This always happens to me. I do not know. I don't know how to spell that one. Early Chinese dynasty, that would probably be the way. So I guess it's going to be 2 eenies, 2 E's for eeny. And pet that stores food in cheek pouches. Guess we're talking about a hamster. I guess I did not know that. And that's weird, wild stuff. Hamsters. So they put this. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. I got a Grand Slam here. Yeah, tennis, baseball, non-specific amount, some. But I want some. How much? Some. I mean, yeah, that's boring. Ho hum. The fact that it's in and it has the exclamation mark there is especially funny to me. After our source of money, perhaps an ATM. I don't know. Get out of here, scat. Okay. Got a lot of yelling going on here today. We got to get out of here. That's boring. So yelling, just put it in all caps, why don't you? ID checkers at an airport, probably the TSA. Biblical brother Jacob Esau, and 11th hour, a young chap. How about a lad? So I guess 11th hour would be last ditch, as in those efforts, like trying to cram 30 minutes before an exam. Just give it up. Stop. Just time out. Just whatever. Just go accept your grade and move on, right? Enola Holmes, actress, blank, Bobby Brown, and I think that's Millie Bobby Brown. I'm not sure. Salt in Paris would be Sel. So I think I might have been right with that. Let's see. Stuff on an artist's palette. I guess we're going for oil paint here. Though you'll rarely find it on my palettes. I love working with acrylics almost exclusively. And it's a rare thing to hear artists say that, but oil, I've done several. I've got a key piece that I'm very proud of. I mean, it hangs proudly, but I really like acrylic if I can get that effect. Like an envelope that's ready to be sent, could be signed, sealed, delivered. Yep, I'm yours. Motor City Hoopster could be a piston. Reminds me of Penny Piston in that whole skating, the rollerball thing. Yeah, that's what it was. It was good stuff. From dawn till dusk. A female pig could be a sow. Potatoes, aloo, Indian cooking. Chicken a la king. And scuba gear. Yeah, maybe a tank. We'll try a tank. I don't have to just run. We can't just check it. Folded Mexican snack could be a taco. Corp exec overseeing engineers say, I don't know. God, chief operations officer, chief technology officer, chief information officer. I mean, it could be a lot. I don't know, who knows. Sean of Lord of the Rings. I think that's Aston. I don't think it's Aston. I know it's Aston, but maybe there's another Sean that I'm not thinking of. Just don't want to sound too sure of myself. Sam Neill of Jurassic Park. Remnants of a volcanic spew. Ashes. Dessert with icing. Perhaps it's the cake. Acorn droppers that come from oaks. And how do we do, Bob? Yeah, so this was okay. If you're doing Monday crosses, right? Because you're getting into the habit, this lifestyle, if you will. You want them to be easy, right? Because you feel accomplished whenever they are, But then when they get a little not so easy, then you still feel accomplished when you actually finish it. So it's kind of, and sorry, hiccups. It's kind of one of those things that, but this is exactly the kind of grid that you want when you're just starting out, because it will give you like this, a bit of impetus, right? A little bit of momentum and going into that Tuesday and then later the Wednesdays and the Thursdays. And then you'll be like me, craving Saturdays so badly that you go back in time to do them. I forget what's in a grid. Like I'm not kidding you. 4 days later, I don't even remember what we did in that grid. So if I go back, say 10 years, yeah, it's like a whole brand new puzzle to me, right? But hey, it's how we get there. It's how we learn. It's how we grow. And it's just fantastic. So what a beautiful grid today. This is so very well done. Dan Kammann and Zucan Burnikel. Very well done. Kudos to both of you. We'll bring down our Bannier Dadu, and I got to learn how to pronounce these names. But I don't see them until we do the grid, and you can't read the crossword column because it tends to have answers in it. So, you just kind of hope that it's something you can just pull out of that third point of contact, so to speak. Until we see you tomorrow for the Tuesday grid. We'll be getting ready to go back. We're going to be getting on a train Thursday on our way to Frankfurt, and then out of Frankfurt early Friday morning, we'll be headed back to the lower 48 for a couple of weeks. And so I need to ask Crosswordland if he wants to fill in and do the crossword while I am in transit. So that would hopefully put me back in the driver's seat to be able to do a crossword on Saturday or at the very latest on Sunday. So just giving everybody a heads up on that. But he's always so entertaining when he does our grids, and so I think this should be absolutely fine. But anyway, until we see you tomorrow, though, and I do look forward to it very much. Auf Wiedersehen, au revoir, arrivederci, que tengas un lindo días, masalamati, annyeonghaseyo, and to all of our friends in Vietnam, hen gap lai. Be well out there. Remember, all of those people with those thick foreign accents, very, very brave people indeed. So let's be nice to our neighbors and let's be welcoming as such. Be well out there, and we'll see you on tomorrow. Cheers.